Muted, you were right. Because I I moved countries and I had to reset up my whole computer and OBS was confused. But welcome in, how you guys doing? It has been a minute. I had to move. Shit was crazy. If you guys ever want to keep up on updates and what I'm doing, and if I'm going to be canceling stream for whatever reason, you can of course always sign up for my Discord, jump into my server where I post all of my announcements there, but yeah, last couple of weeks I have been moving. It's been crazy. Cool. Give me just a second. I'm gonna actually go get a paper towel really quick. Hold on. It's insane. Yeah, sorry I'm a little late today. I was gonna start about 30 minutes ago, but I'm trying to troubleshoot an issue where Facebook has completely locked me out of my account. And I need that to do my job. Like 90% of my job is doing Facebook ads for authors in the US, and they legit have hard locked me out of my account, and I can't do my job, which is the only way I can pay rent right now because I have no other job. So it's been low key very stressful. So I had to sign up for an Instagram verified check mark, which is demonic. And then I am waiting for them to get back to me. So it's literally, it is the most demonic shit. So let me double check and make sure that I'm doing this right. Yeah, let me see what's going on. Hey, thank you so much for that sub, Cal. How you doing? I'm over in your zone now. Sorry, I'm trying to troubleshoot one more time. Oh man, oh no. Oh my god. Uh-oh, this is so bad. I'm looking at people having... Let's see. So this is bad. So I gotta keep an eye on it. So this is rough. This is rough. Sorry, I don't mean to be super distracted, but I do have to kind of keep an eye on this chat. So I'm gonna keep my phone open and just hope that this will go. Otherwise, I gotta just fucking email my India team back, and I gotta wake up at the ass crack tomorrow so that I can go. What's wrong? No, I have to keep my phone open in order to get a hold of meta support. They effectively make you pay money for a verified account in order to get a hold of support, and they don't give you the option to talk to an actual human because they've replaced literally everything with AI, which I'm not really sure why they thought that was a good idea. So I have to keep an eye on this phone. So that way, if they do get support, I can jump right into it. But I hope everybody is doing well. But yeah, this is I've been locked out on my Facebook for a week, and legit, this is the only way I get my paycheck. So I'm actually very stressed out about it. So it kind of sucks. And I'm not sure if they're gonna try and if they're going to try to contact me via like chat or messages via my Instagram, or if they're gonna try and email me. I don't fucking know. Meta has really I'm very done with this job. I might be meeting with another publisher to go get a full-time job with them, I hope. The problem is that now that I'm in Canada, I need a visa. And so I've been trying to get a hold of companies to, you know, give me full-time work rather than just freelance work. Because I can't do freelance work at all. So that does suck. So it's been a low-key kind of a disaster. Also, this is not that great. And this was before I moved to Canada. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, you guys are so unserious. Like, they locked me out while I was in the US. And it's like, okay, that's fine. Because I dared to use a VPN to protect my data. Everybody should sit up nice and straight. Okay, well, good luck, BSD. See ya. And thank you so much. I really appreciate it, though. Good luck wherever you're going. I thought I was going to work on comics today, and then I decided that this zine is stressing me out, so I need to just get it done. So I'm going to turn actually my phone alarm on. Oh, hey, I almost dropped my phone. Okay, just a second. Okay, so they're gonna get back to me via email and via Instagram chat. Okay, so I just gotta keep my fucking eye on the phone. Holy shit. So annoying. So annoying. So yeah, we're working on this zine art. It's for a Saucy Jak and Daxter zine. Because this is who I am. And I can't be stopped. And if I finish shading this, I'm gonna go back to working on some personal work. I need to, like, decompress before I get fully back into work mode. You know, it's funny because everything that is on the Canadian side of things has been great. Nothing has gone wrong over here. Like, literally everything is fine. Everything that I have going on in the US, ass. Ass. Canada has been the easy part, to be honest. Like even things that you take for granted, like for example, I'm using Rogers Internet now. I didn't realize Rogers was affiliated with Xfinity, right? Xfinity is owned by Comcast, right? So I've had Xfinity Internet in the US for years of my life, right? And the Rogers guys answer the phone for customer support. The Rogers guys shipped our internet to us in 2 days. The Rogers guys were able to set up a phone line in 20 minutes in store. Xfinity in the US, Comcast in the US would fucking never. Never. Like, it's just absolutely insane. So the differences between the Canadian versions of these companies and the US versions is like, it's very distinct. Like, so Mark sucks. Also, Mark Zuckerberg is getting the shit suit out of him right now. Shit is kind of insane, actually. Speaking of Mark, I am very glad to be out of the US's shit. Like, I'm not even telling you, like, when I moved, all of a sudden my body was like, oh, I can sleep. So for the first time in literally years, I slept. Oh, is this, Termyung Khalid Lot? Or Gatti Lot? No way. These guys are finished. You guys are really good. Yeah. So my body went, oh, I remember what it is to feel safe. Like, I've never felt so safe in my whole life. And, like, granted, I'm living in, like, a luxury apartment now, which is very cool. Which is low-key insane, also, because I, was living in a luxury apartment, quote-unquote, in the US, but the amenities were not really that great. And, this is, like, an actual luxury apartment. They have security cameras in the elevator. They have like actual recycling, you know, rather than just lying to you and being like, yeah, we're recycling your stuff. Like, they actually have recycling. You know, it's like the difference is insane. Also, just by moving to Canada and by moving to literally the most expensive city in Canada, I'm saving $400 a month, maybe more. Like, the US is a fucking scam, like, legitimately. So I'm super glad to be out of there. I'm so fucking glad. Also, hola Chungus, ¿qué onda? How you doing? Welcome in. We're working on some Jak and Daxter zine art. I'm in 2 Jak and Daxter zines this year. Nice. I've actually never played Doom. Hopefully it's fun though. I have to go right from this to doing office hours again. Guys, I only have 3 more weeks of office hours before I never have to deal with these students ever again. But we'll see. We'll see if they actually even get back. Well, and it's crazy too, Caro, because my parents, so I'm older, right? I'm 32. My parents were quite old when they had me, so my dad was 35, right? And when they grew up in the 70s and the 80s, I actually genuinely think that for the most part, with a big asterisk, right? We have to put a big asterisk on this because it's not necessarily perfect, right? Nothing was ever perfect. It's impossible to hold any kind of society to that standard. But things I think were genuinely better. The economy was better in the US. People were very much so embracing gay and black culture here in the US. And so like the biggest pop artist in the world was Michael Jackson, right? And that's insane. You know, really cool. Gay icons like Madonna and Freddie Mercury were some of the most popular artists in the world, right? Um so it was a good place to be. David Bowie, right? Good place to be. And then once the 90s hit, so during my childhood, things here in the US hit the shitter. Obviously things over, in Eastern Europe kind of were on a different timeline. Like I think about like the Soviet economy collapse that happened in like the mid 80s, give or take. So things were on a different timeline over there. But I do think that the US was better. And I can say too that when I was a kid growing up here, one of the big moments for me that was a really defining moment of my childhood was when Obama got elected and gay marriage was legalized shortly afterward. Like the country was on a definitive upward trend. But the reality is that there are a lot of very old people, predominantly boomers in this country, who were raised on some of the most hateful shit of all time, and they absolutely do not want people to live happy and peaceful lives. And all we can do is effectively try and change it. But I also don't want to sit in the US while it's effectively undergoing a democratic collapse, because now that I'm out of the US and I'm on Canadian internet, I can talk about what I want. But yeah, I think the US is in for some really rough shit, if I had to guess. And yeah, I just don't want to be around for it. I moved from effectively a city that's currently like as of right now, the hospital that I got my gender affirming care from, the guy who owns the hospital in Colorado, right, is super conservative, and he's trying to stop all transgender health programs at the hospital. So the guy that did my gender affirming surgeries just quit along with a dozen other surgeons in protest because they're trying to take away people's actual health care when I live in what is considered one of the most progressive states in the country. And that's the reality, right? We have a gay Jewish governor, and like queer rights are protected. The right to an abortion is in the Constitution in Colorado, so it's a relatively progressive place. But even in that place, they're still trying to take that shit away. Versus the city that I just moved to, their entire city hall is covered in trans pride flags. So the difference is just black and white, night and day. It is such a big difference. In the 80s, communist rule was abolished, and in 2004, Poland joined the EU officially. Yeah, that's really awesome. Yeah, no, it's an interesting period of history. I'm working on a novella that's set in the USSR in St. Petersburg. Or, no, I guess I said, yeah, in Leningrad. In Leningrad in 86. So I've been doing a lot of research on that particular period. But I think the US, to be honest, is going through a very, very similar period as the USSR went through in the 80s. And a lot of Americans, because they were so anti-communist and so anti-Slav, like it really was beyond I don't know, anti-Eastern Europe in general. Like the Red Scare here it very deeply impacted people, my parents' generation and older, to the point where they don't really understand how Eastern European countries function at all. Like they don't know the history, they don't know the culture. When you ask people what is Eastern Europe like I don't think a lot of people would consider Poland to be partially, an Eastern European country. I don't think most Americans could point to Poland on a map. It's really bad. The education levels here is really, really bad. And so knowing that, when presented with other options, or when Americans are told hey, you guys, we're following the same path that the USSR followed in the 80s, and it's going to lead to an economic collapse, they go, well, we're not communist. That could never happen to us because we're not communist. And it's like, well, it's live. It's actually happening right now, you know. And they affiliate. They don't understand that communism was not the problem. It was authoritarianism that is the problem. And they don't get it. They don't get it. So they're yeah, people are lashing out at everybody else, and I'm very grateful to not have to be in that space anymore. And I get to go live in a place. I would not be here without my husband, I should say. I recognize I'm in a very, very, very privileged position. Um, and it was partially due to everybody in here that I was even able to do that, you know? Oh, okay, interesting. Poland is considered Central Europe with Slovakia and Czech Republic. Yeah, see, and that right. And for me that shows, you know, like my understanding, like to understand that American education is so bad. I think about how my high school education was actually pretty decent. I would say it was above average for the US, but there are like big world events that most US citizens just don't learn about. You know, like if you were to ask most Americans what is the EU, they might not even know. You know, like I have to explain to my mom constantly like Schengen countries and how visas work because she doesn't it's just something that she just doesn't know. You know, and I recognize my education is not perfect. You know, like I am going off of in a lot of cases like early 2000s American education data, which is not that great. Um yeah, so being aware, I feel like even just being aware of that as an American and understanding that like we don't know shit. Like we really don't. Um and it's, you know, the only way, like I don't even remember, I don't remember who said it. Um I was watching another international creator and she was talking about how every country has their own version of, you know, what they believe is correct and true and right. And the only way to unlearn those things is to get outside of it. And like you can do that, of course, digitally. You don't have to do it physically, but talking to other people and just asking yourself the question of like what is the world like outside is like the number one most important thing that you can do for yourself as a human. And I'm really grateful that I have like you guys as an online community and that I was able to now move to a place. But yeah, my husband is super fucking smart, and you know, the only way I would have been able to get out alone is if I had gotten a work visa, which like is not very likely unless you already live in the country that you're trying to get a work visa in, which is insane because it's like you'd think that, you know, companies would be willing to pay for relocation and stuff like that, but they really aren't, or to help you even if they don't pay for you to relocate to help you through that process, but they're not, you know. Like a lot of companies that I talked to were effectively like, well, we don't really want to talk to you until you're in the country that you're trying to get a job in. And now all of a sudden, now that I've done that, the guy that I'm talking to is like, yeah, let's meet up next week, you know. And it's a pretty big difference. So without him, a point is without him I would not be here, and I'm really really lucky that he's just, yeah, he's super smart. Um, but I'm glad I don't have to be in the bullshit while it's happening. I don't have to watch like Donald Trump fucking fight everybody 24/7 or worry about like I get to go to the University of British Columbia campus and get my doctor's office stuff set up on Friday, and I don't have to worry about my health care being taken away. Like, holy shit. We do. We love Jace. We love Jace for sure. He's very nervous about it. He's like, what if I'm not that smart? What if I fail my class? I'm like, bro, you're not gonna fail your classes. You'll be okay. You'll be good. But yeah, I'm stoked. I'm so glad to be here. I don't think I would have survived in the US for much longer, to be honest. Like my physical health I think would have gotten so severe that I don't think I would have made it. And then with the news of like effectively being unable to get gender affirming care from the hospital, like it got to the point where my primary care practitioner, my regular doctor, um, he got to the point where he stopped listing my testosterone prescription, for example, as a hormone replacement therapy, right? Which is what it technically is, right? It's HRT. He started listing it as this is testosterone that's being prescribed for a hormonal imbalance. So as if I was a cis person needing hormones for that, because he was afraid that if it was listed as HRT, it would get blocked. Like, it's just mind blowing. And I was trying to explain that to my mom too. Like, shit started to kind of hit the fan, and I was like, I don't know, mom. It's gonna get to the point where it's like I'm gonna need to move, like for my own physical health. I'm not gonna be able to be there anymore. And she's like, it's not gonna get that bad. And it's like within the last like 3 months, it definitely has gotten that bad. Like, I'm in an FBI database. I think that it's fucking funny that I am in an FBI database because I needed a passport. Yeah, like, what the fuck? Absolutely insane. Shrimp heaven now! But seriously though, we should if Jace pops in here, he's gonna be effectively off and not have to go into school for or until September 8th, so he should be able to pop into stream a lot more often, which is really cool. Sorry for drawing the sluttiest Errol art, by the way. I actually, you know what, actually, I'm not gonna apologize. What's insane is that I am older than Errol. That shit. So, I appreciate you guys being here, point being. Hopefully streams will be significantly less stressful and my mood will dramatically improve because I'm going to be able to like settle. And then in a couple months, I'm probably going to be able to go back to therapy, you know, go and do that again and actually be able to do EMDR therapy for trauma, which I've been unable to do because I was in a triggering environment. So I couldn't do it. And that's going to make a massive, massive, massive improvement. Like, I haven't really even processed it yet. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm still processing. Yeah, so I'm very grateful. I'm still still processing. So now my next step is to just get a fucking job. I'm gonna be meeting with the CEO of Simply Read Books next week sometime, hopefully. And maybe I'll get a job publishing some fucking kids books. That would be insane. Work for a publishing house and actually do what I went to school for, which would be really cool. Dimitar's busy this week though, so I have to kind of just like roll with it. Wait for him to be ready. Otherwise, I guess I can give an announcement or a couple of announcements. Sorry to just bombard everybody. I haven't been able to like really advertise anything over the last several like days, give or take. But I wanted to say thank you to everybody who helped me get this ready for launch. So we definitely hit that 25 right before I needed to get out of the country, which is really cool. So I'm stoked. This is going to be my next project, and I'm going to be working with getting a little novella out there. It's going to be very cute. Very cute. So if you're interested in following along with the project, I'll be shipping this thing out of the US as well, so it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt, but so that's been an exciting announcement. Otherwise, this zine is my next big thing. I think pre-orders for this are going to open up in October. So if you like Jak and Daxter, or you just want to see a bunch of horny art, cute is one way to call that story. I mean, you know, it deals with a lot of trauma. Sisters. I wrote it out of spite because Frozen sucked. As one does, you know. But I also wanted to say a massive thank you as well to everybody who, like, subscribes to my Ko-fi as well. And I wanted to let you know, like, obviously I have, like, my goal down here. You know, this is, like, moving cushion or whatever. But I don't even know, what is it listed as on my... I don't know what the goal is. I can't see it because my screen is too tiny, but that moving cushion effectively is allowing me to pay off my credit card for all the moving costs that occurred, you know, when getting over there. And because of your guys' donations, as well as from, like, the Liberation Crew mutual aid group that I'm in, I was able to pay off literally, like, $3,000 of it yesterday, which is insane. So that is a lifesaver. And I think about how much money that we raised even to just get those initial moving costs. You know, that allowed for Jace's transcript, that allowed for Jace's deposit in his university. You know, so, like, literally without you guys, I would not be here. And you have made such a positive impact on my life. Like, I'm gonna get, like, emotional talking about it, actually. Like, I think about how, like, even especially people like Cal have been here since you know, legit, I think, like, 2020. And that was during one of the worst times in my life. Like, legitimately, it was so fucking bad. And, like, COVID sucked. Like, there was a lot about that period that was bad, but, like, some of you guys have really stuck through this shit in a way that I can't even... Like, you guys are my family. Like, I have no words to describe how much you mean to me. So thank you. It's been an insane 10 years, and I'm really hoping that now I can just kind of ride out whatever this is and move forward and be able to actually do something. I've got a couple of pending applications with a couple other companies as well. I'm just going to kind of keep applying until something happens, and I guess if I don't have anything by November, I'm just going to go apply to an Indigo and then go work in a bookstore, I guess. So I got a lot of stuff to think about, but not as much as I could. It could be significantly worse. Yeah, Cal's doing his good due diligence as a mod. I appreciate you. Let's see. No response from the Instagram people if I've been live for 40 minutes, so they're liars. They're liars. But yeah, if you guys feel like you want to support my Ko-fi, the minimum is 1 USD to support, and I release free books on there all the time. There's this thing that I do that I'm going to be picking back up in September. So I'll be putting out a poll here soon over which book we should work on each month. But for those of you who are new here, I do this thing called Shape the Narrative over on my Ko-fi, which is where you get to vote to write a book. And so every month I release 2 chapters. And then you guys vote on what happens. But that also means you get to vote on which book I'm going to be writing as well. Most of them are connected to my other books in some way. Which is really, really cool. And you get to determine what happens with the characters or what's just overall, like, what's going on. And if you want to participate in that, it is just 1 USD a month. And you get access to all of that stuff. That's okay. I've actually been on a hiatus with Betrayer's Blade since it's been done. I'm deciding that I'm going to write one, full book effectively and then take about 6 months in between. Which happened to line up with me moving, so that ended up working out. And, our options are effectively going to be finishing up Betrayer's Blade, and writing the second half of that book, because, really, I think Betrayer's Blade is going to end up being, like, a 120k long book. It's going to be kind of a bigger fantasy book, truly. So I'm less worried about that. Or writing other stuff, so I'll put that down. I did decide on my NaNoWriMo project on my own, because I've been writing a lot of really heavy adult fiction lately, whether it's Appetite, or, oh, speaking of that, I gotta remind myself to, let me send a message. Let's see, there we go. I need to send the updated version of Appetite to Eric, actually, because they're doing a beta read of my work, and they are so awesome. I love and appreciate them. Shout out to Eric Fenn, amazing author, amazing human. But I've been writing so much adult fiction lately that I want to take a break and refresh my brain. So I've been knocking around. It low-key is another one of those books written out of spite, because I was displeased with the original book, or the original movie. But I'm going to be working on a middle grade that I started thinking about after watching Despicable Me 4, because I thought the plot was kind of meh. It was just kind of eh. It's not the best, not the worst, just kind of eh. And I want to start building out. I think I'm going to have, like, multiple versions, or multiple verses, I should say, verses of books. So the big ones are going to be the Mirrorverse, which is, where, like, One Pale Reflection, Betrayer's Blade, the Children of the Key Thief, like, those things are going to live. So that's that particular universe. And then I'm going to have, Astroverse, which is where Mirror Gaze, Gay Gaston, Swallowheart, like, there's a couple of, like that specific universe, and I think even King of Dust actually lives over there as well, so that's, like, its own little world. And then the third one is going to be, Chromaverse, which is where Brady technically hangs out, and I want to eventually write more superhero fiction, and that's going to be where, that kind of stuff lives, too. So, paranormal, fantasy, and contemporary superhero fiction is going to be that particular zone. So I think that this book, this new one I'm working on for NaNoWriMo, is a Chromaverse book for sure. And it's going to be fun. Hi, Goose! How you doing? Oh my gosh, I miss you. I hope you're doing great. It's great seeing you here. Hope things have been well for you. Hope you're surviving the heat wave, because what the fuck? The US is so crispy. I hope you are not getting hit by the smoke too bad, because Vancouver got slammed by the Spokane smoke, and also the Northern California smoke, so I hope you're not, like, too smoked out down there. been a long time since I've done just like full body art, y'all. This is like this is a whole ass person. But yeah, I want the book is gonna follow this kid. Her name's Ash, and she had a kind of a rough childhood because her dad is one of the first chroma humans to be convicted with a felony. So they're coming up with new classes of felonies to like convict humans with the chroma gene. And for those of you who are like, if you've not like talked to me about the chromaverse, the chroma gene, it's very similar to the X-Men where you have a genetic mutation that gives you superpowers. But superpowers are derived from 3 different sources, and you have chroma types, which is your archetype for your powers. And the first chromotype is myth, and then you have legend and folklore. Those are your 3 chromotypes. So, this dad has a legend chromotype and was like effectively committing wire fraud. It's not like a super violent crime, but he was using his superpowers to try and make money to send his wife to school because his wife, you know, couldn't afford to go to college. So he was definitely doing things out of like the goodness of his heart. But at the end of the day, it was not a good idea. And then you also have like the competing groups of like actual like chroma terrorists that are popping up. They call themselves a virus. And so those guys are like these super villains of the world. This dad was not a super villain by any means. And so this girl grows up effectively without a dad, and then also to her mom is a therapist for chroma humans specifically. So she's just kind of MIA and not really at home at all. And this kid ends up her dad ends up like kind of coming back into her life, and then unfortunately her world like implodes a little bit. So it's gonna have the same kind of lighthearted tone. I think somewhere in between Megamind and Despicable Me, where it's not really for that young of an audience, but it'll be not the craziest shit. But that's what I'm gonna be working on for Nano. I want to enter the Reedsy Nano contest again, because last year I didn't realize that I needed to be writing in their editor. So I'm going to work on it in Word, and then I have to... Or, well, I guess I'm going to work on it in the editor, and then I'm going to have to transfer it over to Word afterwards to be able to edit it. It's been good. The smoke hasn't reached us, so we're set. Oh, thank God. I'm glad. It's probably blowing up my direction. I think it's supposed to blow more east again. But yeah, I think the weather over here on the West Coast is better. I came from like literally 104-degree heat, and then
Apparently the mattress is here, so it's really downstairs.
Okay, that's all right. I can go get it once I'm done streaming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we can load it up into the wagon.
Okay.
So that should be fine. Yeah, so we can go down there and do that later. Okay. Cool. Yay, we got a mattress, guys. I can sleep in a real people bed instead of on IKEA mats. Crazy. Okay, hold on. That was the doo-doo-doo-doo, dude. Was that them? No. Oh my God. Fucking Instagram. But yeah, we left 104-degree heat and then came over to 68-degree heat, and I'm like, oh my God. Thank God, you know? How was the move? Things were, it was a little chaotic, but it wasn't bad. We had to like move out of our old apartment on the same day that we were flying out, and despite the fact that we were definitely at the airport on time, one United employee kind of dicked us and told us to go stand in a line to check our cat in for the international border crossing. And those people were also dealing with like customer service things like needing to refund flights and customer service complaints. And so we were in the line for 45 minutes, which was 15 minutes after we needed to check in our cat. And so we got up there and the lady was like, well, hey, I can't check you in for your international flight. You need an hour to check in your cat. And so you're just kind of fucked and we have to cancel your flight. And I was like, bro, all of our shit is literally moving across the country.
Where's your crossbody bag? So I can.
Oh, it's hanging on the bathroom door.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought it was next to the bed, but I remembered I hung it up. It's 2 cards in my phone pocket, which are the 2 pieces
I'm
of
also
paper.
gonna need your phone because I don't have access to that door.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to take this phone and keep an eye on it, if you get a message from Instagram, don't reply to it. It's a DM from their customer support, but yeah, let me know.
Yep.
But yeah, so all of a sudden they were like, we gotta cancel your flight. And that shit was crazy. And, then we were like, well, we need to get on a fucking plane. And literally by the grace of any god, the Air Canada flight the next morning had a flight out with 2 seats on it. We were the last 2 seats. It was a sold out flight. So if that lady had not acted as quickly as she did, we would have been fucked. Oh yeah, I almost fainted, Goose. Like legit, it's very rare for me to actually faint, but I legit started to have an out of body experience and actively almost fainted on the fucking, like, in the airport. So that shit was crazy. So then we got our flight rescheduled with Air Canada. That was nuts. And then at that point we needed to figure out a hotel, so we found the nearest hotel that would take a cat. Went over there, had to emergency order a litter box and cat litter because my cat was expecting to be home, you know, and like we had been withholding food. He was on medication. Like it was insane. And then at that point we just decided fuck it. We checked into the hotel, did the best that we could, and spent the night there. Then got up at the ass crack to catch a 9 a.m. flight. Got on the flight. Mr. Man did super good on the plane. Really, really good. And then we landed. And then everything on the Canadian side was fucking easy. We made it through immigration in literally 5 minutes. And then in customs, we were through customs in like 15 minutes. And then they were super nice. They gave us Jason got his student visa for up through the end of his 2 years for his bachelor's, but then they gave me a visitor's record for fucking 5 years, like a really long time. So everything on the Canadian side was amazing. They just took care of us like super fast. Got on the Uber, got over to the apartment. My parents were able to check in for the apartment, and like while there have been a couple of snags, like being unable to use the paid parking that we have, for example, until today, because our leasing manager was sick, which totally fine. That's a normal fucking human thing to experience. But other than that, like effectively since we got here, it's been smooth. You know, nothing crazy. So crazy. But we're all good. Tatsu's doing great. He was really stressed out the first couple of days. And it was kind of hard for him, I think. But now that he has, we pulled all of his stuffed animals out and all of the stuff for the couch. So now that he can smell his old stuff, I think he's way more comfortable, and he's been splooted and spread out on the couch and very, very happy. So it was just, I think, kind of stressful for him. He was not super happy, but he did really good. And we haven't had him on the gabapentin, and he's just been eating like regular, you know? So I think all of us collectively just heaved a really big sigh of relief as soon as we got over here. And I think my mom was really worried about it. She was like, oh my god, you're moving to a big city and shit's crazy. And it's like the population of Vancouver is still less than Denver. You know, it's really not that big of a deal. Jace, you good? Oh, holy shit, the UPS guy brought the mattress all the way up the stairs. Crazy. Careful to not slide and scratch the floor, honey.
He had a industrial dog.
Oh, a hand truck? Oh,
yeah,
thank God.
So he was just like, let me just bring it upstairs for you. I'm like, because he was like, it's really heavy. I was like, oh, thank you so much.
Bro, that's so nice. Yeah. See, the US would never. Yeah. I think about how literally no fucking shit. The biggest difference for me has been just how unabashedly nice everybody is. All of a sudden, we know all of our neighbors. People were, other neighbors in the community were offering to carry shit up for us in the apartment and help us move in. People that we didn't know. Yeah. The U.S. would fucking never. Americans hate each other. Okay, all right, bye, Jace.
Bye.
But holy shit, so it's been, yeah, people are so fucking nice, so nice. So I'm just so grateful. Yeah, right, Goose? No, for real. Like, I'm very lucky that at our last apartment, I didn't have nearly as much beef with our neighbors there, because, like, I think things were insulated and quiet, and, like, actually the people that were right next to us got evicted, so it was, like, we didn't really even see them. I think legit they just moved out, actually. They just decided that they couldn't afford the place and just fucking left. You know, abandoned the property and stuff, and then vanished off the face of the earth, which is not, you know, a bad strat if you can't afford your apartment. But I feel like this place, everything is so quiet. Like I've legit not heard any of our neighbors. The worst part about this place, and I say worst as mostly kind of a joke, to be honest. But the worst part about this place is that there's a Vietnamese restaurant right below us, and the Vietnamese restaurant vents up into our building. And so when I leave my apartment, everything smells like Nook Chom and pho broth and grilled meat, and that's dangerous for me. That's so fucking dangerous. So dangerous. I don't know how I'm supposed to cope. Like, I don't know. Everything smells so fucking good. So good. But yeah, when management needs to fix stuff like I think about how for us it was, you know, kind of hard to get maintenance out, and like we let the maintenance people know that like we, you know, our hot water and cold water on our washer and dryer are switched. They're like in the wrong orientation, and they were like, "Oh god, sorry, we'll get someone out right away, like today, to fix it." And it's like we had the same problem in our other apartment, and it took them like 2 weeks to get out, and it's like, oh, so is this what having like actual responsive like management is like? Crazy. So I don't know, I'm reeling. Like it's just, it is the craziest shit of all time. So I'm very excited. Also, not to hard plug everything as per usual, but since some people might be interested in this, I'm going to drop my link to my next backer kit into the chat again. If you want to share it with your friends, it's a little novella that I wrote out of spite because I thought the plot of Frozen was kind of bad. So I fixed it. I'm surprised at how many authors do that, actually. Like I've been hearing from other people that they do the same thing, where it's like, this was because I got mad at like Star Wars or something, and I'm like, oh, we're all on the same page. We're sick of the corpo slop, and we know we can make it better. Oh, I realized. You know that moment when you realize that you fucking forgot to shade his hand over here? My bad. Sounds like Skrillex. Is this Skrillex? Oh no, it's Feed Me. These guys are better bro step artists than Skrillex, just throwing that out there. Just saying. Yo, I don't know how I fucking wrote myself into painting literally an entire Zoomer. I don't know how the fuck this happened. I was like, what if I did like a Gran Turismo poster from the 60s? Why am I like this? Why am I like this? Okay, sorry, we're going in on the Nip Nop. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually go like this. I'm still here, but I do not want Jeff Bezos to, or not Jeff Bezos, Oh, no, it is Jeff. I don't want Jeffy Jeff to eject me off the planet for working on a Nippy up close, so give me just a second to finish this Nip Nop over here, and then I'll be back. Okay, there we go. I zoomed out. But yeah, I don't know. It's been good. I'm just so fucking glad to be out of the hellhole. I have no words. We got Ad Town in about a minute, by the way, y'all. I might just... Oh, this is on Overland, that's why I was like, why does this look like ass? It's because it's on the wrong blending mode. Thank you, Jace. Anything from Instagram? No, because they hate me. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do a meeting with India probably tomorrow, really, really early. Which does suck, but nine I can do, but everybody hydrate. I'm drinking an Alani. Oh, and I don't have any snacks. Hold on, let me go get some trail mix really quick. Jace made me an omelet this morning, but I didn't eat the whole thing. So let me go get trail mix. Hold on. Okay, trail mix acquired. What I love about the weather here is that with the box fan going, it's actually so chilly in my office that I need a cardigan. Hold on. Gotta give my boy Errol some freckles, obviously. Hi, Aqua. How's it going? How are you? I hope you had a great month or so. Also, since I'm seeing you kind of in person, sort of, I wanted to remind you, because you're the only, I think you're the only person I know that has not done it, to go on to BackerKit and fill out your survey for your BackerKit rewards. I'm going to be sending the first batch out this month, but if you want to get to it by September, that way I can get you your goods as soon as possible. But thank you so much for your support. It's been awesome. Freckly bastard. But I hope you've had a great summer so far. It's good seeing you again. I'm glad that I get to, like, just see everybody right away. Like, the internet came so fast. I'm just saying, it was... I was working off of Jace's Wi-Fi hotspot for a couple days, though, and holy shit, it was suffering. Oh my god. It was trying so hard. Okay, is that Instagram? No. Bastards! Okay, so that'll work. Oh yeah, true, true. What do you mean you didn't want to prevent children from running into the woods and then just dying? Hopefully it was fun, though, at least. It sounds like hard work. Hmm. I've been watching a lot of Avatar The Last Airbender, so my brain just went, it seems like it's a good time for some jasmine tea. Uncle Iroh was strong in there. Alright. Let me figure out what I'm doing. Yeah. I mean, it's looking good. It's looking good. I only have about an hour before I have to go do my office hours with those gross students. No, I'm just kidding. They're alright. Yeah, I've been drinking a lot of, oolong and black tea. I have to go over to Treasure Green again and get some high quality tea. There's also one in, like, Richmond over here that I've been kind of curious to try out. That's a tea place as well. Ton of fun. Gonna try and be staff next year. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that sounds very fulfilling. Go to sleep. Yeah. Yells. Oh my god. Y'all are so funny. I haven't been clocked as American too bad over here yet, guys. Because I feel like a lot of the accent is pretty similar to where it was in California. And also in Colorado as well, so I have not yet... there have been very few people that have been like, oh, are you guys American? So I nailed it. I'm incognito. I'm blending in. Oh my god. Dude. Oh my god. Better off alone! Oh, this is the sewing Gertie version. That's cool. Oh my god. I love this man's hurdy-gurdy, I swear to god. This man is a treasure. Oh, nice. Nice! I hope that was a great experience, Aqua. I've been wanting to go see it on the 70mm, but, yeah, all in all, it seems like a really cool cinematic experience. I recognize the translator, like, Emily Watts is not, I think that's her name, Watts or Watson. She's not very happy with the movie, but I also acknowledge Christopher Nolan has a habit of, changing things dramatically when he adapts them. So I definitely do not expect a, like, book-accurate Odyssey from him. But I'm sure it's wonderful. I heard Zendaya just, like, mogs the entire movie, which I think is super funny. As she should, right? Right? It's like that seems normal to me. I'm like, is it Zendaya even if she doesn't like mog the camera 24/7? Dude, this is crazy that this talk box in this song is made using the hurdy-gurdy. It's really interesting to listen to. I haven't had a chance to listen to his new talk box stuff. It being in 70 millimeters is insane. Wasn't book accurate, but followed the same path. Yeah, because knowing Christopher Nolan, he tends to remove a lot of like the fantastical elements from whatever he's working on. In the same way, like I really love his Dark Knight stuff, particularly the first two movies, but I really disliked The Dark Knight Rises with Bane in it because I feel like Bane is so it is science fiction. Like he as a character is science fiction, so turning him effectively into like a Middle East terrorist was not really like, I don't think, very comic accurate, and also he wasn't Latino, which makes me sad. So there was a lot about that I didn't like, but it was because he removed a good chunk of the fantasy elements um from the like Batman verse overall in his work, so I kind of expected the same thing where like even Athena as a goddess, it's kind of questionable whether or not she is supernatural in her essence at all, or if it's just Odysseus's brain doing what it does in the throes of guilt. So knowing that and knowing that that's what I'm going into, that's kind of what I expect. What do I need to fill out on BackerKit? So if you open BackerKit, what you'll see, let me pretend I'm you for a second. This is my BackerKit account. So what you'll see is if you go into your profile, you should have a notification over here, and you'll see your pledges and surveys here. If you click that link, what it'll do is it'll take you to a page. I guess this just doesn't have any weird information. These are all of the Book Bazaar projects that I backed. But you'll see your surveys right here, and if you click that, you'll also see needs action, and that will be where your BackerKit survey is. It'll effectively just ask you to update your address and stuff like that, so that way your book doesn't get lost in the mail. My parents are going to be sending everything out, so it's going to be hikey kind of crazy, but we're gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna need to work on that a little bit, but that's okay. But yeah, I'm sure it's amazing. I'm sure it's wonderful for what it is. Of course, it's his highest grossing movie of all time, so I imagine people really liked it. Let me double check, because I think... Oops, not start a new project. Hello? Nope, that was launch. Hold on, let me go and get in the right area. 1 second. Let me see if it's filled out on my end. I gotta go deep into Pledge Manager. Yeah, as of right now, it looks like your survey has not been answered. It says survey not completed on my end. So be sure to check your email for survey reminders, those kinds of things. I sent one out 3 days ago, would have been the last time. I gotta get Jace's dad to do it too. Actually, let me send a message to be like, tell your father. Otherwise, though, the only other people that are there in it are people that I don't know, so I'm like, if y'all don't fill your surveys out, that's on you, buckaroo. That's on you. I can do nothing. I don't know you. You're not my dad. We've literally reminded him like 18 times, but to be fair, since the US is low-key kind of blowing up and Jace's dad works in that sector, shit has been crazy. I'm not really allowed to talk about it anymore now that I'm outside of the Americas. So he's been point being working a bazillion things of overtime and low-key dying. So I understand, but also I need him to fill out the thing. I don't really have a lot of stuff that I'm doing over here. His eyes are really tiny, so I don't have to... I don't really want to do a bunch of crazy shit with it. I might even just leave it alone. Leave that there like that. I really don't want to do office hours for my students. I'm glad that these students are slightly more active than other students, but also I'm like, learn how to read. I have one student that legit just doesn't know how to read. I'm not even joking. I wish that that was, like, not the case, but, like, I have never seen anything that bad. Like, basic spelling and grammar is just, like, not there. Terrifying. Yeah, I'm gonna need to, I was, like, trying to figure out if I want to, work on hair and stuff, like, hair extras, but I'm gonna wait. Trying to think of anything else exciting that's happened other than just, like, relocating and, like, feeling like I'm gonna explode. But other than that, not really. I'm definitely, still trying to catch up on sleep. I'm sure I have, like, months of sleep debt that I need to catch up on. I might need to turn off this, like, smoke effects. I did all the background yesterday, and I was like, yeah, I'll just keep the smoke effects on, and it's like, maybe I should turn that off, but we'll see. It didn't really impact working on his skin any. But it might when I get down to the shoes. Da shoes. Cool, let me refresh and make sure it got it on my end. I'm sure it did. Yep, it got you. It got you. So cool, perfect. Yep. Awesome. So I'll be locking that over like in September. So keep an eye out for that, but otherwise you are good to go. And of course, again, to bomb people with all of this, if you haven't signed up for Mirror Gaze Tune, you want to check that out, there's that link, but no pressure on it. Thank you also to whoever just did it. I don't know who just did it, but we're almost at 30, which is great. This project's going to be a really, really, really light project. I'm only like for example, for Court of Snakes, that funding goal was legit like $1,300. This is legit $900. And that's it. So, not really a lot of stuff going on. But you guys like absolutely rock. You're so amazing. That was my highest grossing Kickstarter project literally of all time, or crowdfunding project in general. So, absolutely insane. I appreciate you all so much. It's just, yeah. I've been slowly buffering and recalibrating back to, like, life. Do I really want this to be that? I don't like this color. I prefer, yeah, there we go, a more saturated color. And I don't really need, like, that much shit going on. I just want to be able to very lightly shade. Oh, also, another announcement. I got the announcement this morning that Witch in the Woods is officially on the shortlist for the open novella contest. So now I'm officially in the top 100, and from that 100, or 96, I should say, from that top 96, they're going to pick the 5 winners and 1 grand prize winner. So wish me luck. That's very exciting. Do I want... Oh, I realize I didn't do this on this layer. That's alright. I don't think I'm going to do leather texture, actually, because I'm lazy. I am lazy. I know what I am. This illustration is also going to be printed really small. It's at like an 8 by something in a book, you know, so the level of detail is not really going to be there. And that's okay. But I'm stoked. Yeah, I'm really stoked. I was telling everybody earlier for Ko-fi, I'm going to be putting out a poll for what our next Shape the Narrative stuff is. So if you want to participate in that and vote on what happens in books, that poll is going to be available to everyone who pledges to the Ko-fi, not a specific dollar amount. So anybody, even if you pledge just a buck, that'll be available for everybody to vote. And I'm excited to see what people pick. It's going to be some fun stuff. Some fun stuff. I'm going to try and not have too much detail on the chaps here so that Jeff Bezos doesn't eject me into hell, you know? This beatboxing is really satisfying sounding. I'm like, can I just hang out with you guys instead of doing my office hours? Can I just tell these students to go fuck themselves? I'm such a jerk. I'm like, sorry, I have better shit to do. I have cool people to hang out with. I don't think I would want to go back to teaching again. I think that, you know, teaching on campus might be a little bit different, but you're still going to run into the same issues of like students not really knowing what's going on. But maybe an on-campus environment would be better. But online is rough. I don't think Emily Carr University even does online classes. Actually, I think they only do on ground. So that might be different. See, so this is all cloth. This is actually not leather. Although I might make it leather for the sake of this. Bob did not include leather in his concept art. Also, when I needed to go access concept art to look for references for this thing for coloring this yesterday, Bob's website was down, and I was like, what in the cursed shit? For the first time in my life, Bob Rafi's... Or Rafi? Bob Rafi? I realized the guy is Arab. It actually might be Rafi, and I've been maybe mispronouncing his name my entire life. Yeah, Rafi. Rafi. My bad. My bad, Bob! I'm so sorry. My bad. I didn't know. And now I do, so I will not mispronounce it again. My white ass. Wiener. That's all I gotta say. This is for a triple X like adult pinup Jak and Daxter zine, and it's gonna be great. There's gonna be cocktail recipes in it. They got fun merch. Overall, just very, very cool, very fun. 10 out of 10. Everybody in this community is super, super nice. I gotta figure out a Golem Maya thing to do for the Precursor Legacy 25th anniversary zine. So, it's all... I think the first zine that they did, the zine was just so successful that, like... Now the decision is to just, like, keep doing Jak and Daxter zines for the rest of forever. This one's actually, like, a paid zine, too, so I'm gonna make some monies off of it, which is pretty cool. Guess who forgot the hand again? It was me. But yeah, I got a lot of interesting stuff to kind of work on over the next couple of days or so, months or so. Yeah, sure. I'm just going to be kind of gentle with the highlights, I think. Not anything crazy. I can actually purchase these chaps from the UK, so I might do it. A lot of people didn't realize that he was wearing chaps, but he indeed is wearing chaps over top of his military uniform. I was like, I didn't even have to make him sexy. Bob already did that shit. He already gave us chaps. Hold on. This seam, I don't want it to look forced. And I may not do too much leather work down in here, because I don't want to have the highlights competing with his face. So I'm going to leave that effectively relatively untouched. Okay, let's go yellow. Weller. Is this Miley? Oh no, it is not. Is This girl's Swedish, actually. She's got a very specific accent. For whatever reason, for 2 seconds, though, I was like, this sounds like Miley Cyrus. It was not. I was lied to. My ears lied to me. I love the yellow on these pants, man. Okay, so this I'm going to leave alone. Well, yeah, no, I'm going to have to just hit it with a highlight. This, though, is metal, so this is kind of interesting. Otherwise... I'm actually not going to do any more work on the rest of his fabric because it's not metal. So this is going to be ultra shiny. And then increase contrast. Everybody hydrate. I'm actually halfway through my Alani and I don't feel like I want to die. I've just been kind of munching on trail mix. Thank you for the reminders, Cal. Everybody should hydrate and get a little snacky. Just a little snacky snack, you know? I don't know. I might get pretty damn close to finishing this thing. Sorry for not working on comics today. I should be back into my regular schedule, working on commissions and other stuff. Next week, and things should be more normal. I think. Okay, is he done? Okay, he's effectively done. So now, oh, except for metal. This is Juniper Vale, I think. It is. Juniper Vale's been using, unfortunately, AI as art making her stuff, and that makes me sad. Because her music is not AI, but she's been using a lot of AI for her like, images and stuff, and I'm like, girl, you had good art for your albums before you started using AI. Like, why are you like this? This version is not really that great of this either. That's okay. Man, my internet has not dropped once. Bro, the US is something. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I almost choked on nut dust, which is super funny. Don't think about it too hard. The peanut almost killed me. Nut dust. True. Okay. Now that I can kind of just lock in and do art, I'm significantly less stressed out about this. I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna have enough time to get it done. No, I'll be fine. Okay, stupid engine. This damn engine. I had to make up how this engine works because Bob Rafi, Bob, I'm gonna not, I can't, I gotta change 30 years of a habit. Bob Rafi didn't, like, really, I don't think too hard about how engines work. So I had to just kind of, like, guess. I, like, grabbed a motorcycle engine and I was like, this is fine. And then I photo bashed a bunch of images together and was like, no one will ever know. So this is my best attempt at a motorcycle engine. It's fine. Bob lied. Bob lied to me. And that is the end of the playlist. We're going to switch to this playlist that I have named the Gay Agenda. Okay. I was just making sure that this playlist is functioning as it should, which it is. You're good. I don't even really have to worry about too much here. I had to Frankenstein to Zoomer together like nobody's business, y'all, like crazy. But it looks good. I cursed myself by being like, I'm gonna make a vehicle. But I think for like there is a vehicle, it's not looking bad. It definitely doesn't look how I thought it would look when I started on it, but I like to kind of just like they call it like straight ahead working. In animation, it's called straight ahead animation, where you don't really think about like what you're doing, or you don't make keyframes from start to end. You just kind of just draw and let it organically move. And that's kind of how I guess my overall art process I would consider pretty straight ahead. I just kind of vibe and just go for it. As the day is getting hotter, it's kind of getting spicy, you're not gonna lie. I like working on illustrations this small because I don't really have to worry about too many details, and I can just kind of just vibe. I'm so used to working on portraiture where like every little detail matters, and it's like I can just kind of like ad lib this, and nobody's gonna really care. Body is sanctuary, my body's pure. Do 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 do. You want me bad? I think you're cool, but I'm not sure. Do 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 do. Follow me, don't be such a holy fool. Follow me, I need something more from you. It's not about sex or champagne, you holy fool. Sure. I just started sticking random spikes to shit, y'all. Like, I'm not even joking. I was like, okay, well, what would give this an interesting silhouette? I was like, random fucking spikes. That'll do it. I'm so glad that a lot of Bob's work was like, just overall like marker and acrylic, so I can just kind of go rogue. Let's get to the fall. Yeah, random spikes make everything better sometimes. This was one of those times. Part of me wonders if I should do the Leyendecker details on this thing. And I know that I can. I'm just trying to figure out if like the details are too small for me to care. But I also may be just too eager to get it done. To the point where I'm like rushing a little bit, so I need to just chill out and tell myself that this is not due until September. I got a month. You know, I have plenty of time. Okay, not bad. Oh, Goose, did you miss me choking on nut dust? I choked on some nut dust. I just choked a little bit on the nut. It's fine. I'm fine. If you wanna steal my heart away and meet me, baby, in a safe place, don't meet me at Electric Chapel. Oh, Cal, I was telling, so my friend Shay, it's Ski in the server, Ski read, um, finally read Brady 1 and is on to Brady 2 now, and they think that Oops All Rolo is the funniest shit, by the way. Now that they're in the loop. Also, another funny conversation that we had is that like they had to go back and look at the art of Gran, and they thought that Gran was a fucking Muppet, which is also super funny to me. Brady 1 now has 23 out of 25 reviews, guys. We're almost there. Muppet Gran merch when? Can you imagine? I make like a puppet history version of Gran. Terrifying. I'm trying to figure out. It looks like I'm gonna ask Ski if their review was on Amazon. But they did leave me a really nice review. Let me go ask them if it posted. I have their info. Cool, we'll see. Goose so mean to me. No, Goose speaks the truth. Goose speaks truth. Y'all are too much. It's so loud. The chains of the gates I could not enter. Walk into flame of your name. Just don't ignore me. I can't. Oh, y'all, I got 20 minutes before I have to leave. I don't wanna. I just start screaming. It's a ghost town. This mix of this song is my favorite. I like the other version, but this one's better. You're like, but actually, I need receipts though. This is slander. Oh, I forgot this little teeny weeny spike back here, guys. I forgot the butt spike. That's okay. Butt spike required. We fixed it. I think it's affected. I'm searching for trust. A city of rust. A city of vampires. My voice is dead. And everyone spread. Love is a satire. My favorite part about this song is that the lyric is now everyone's or Elvis is dead and everyone's spread and love is a satire, but every time I listen to it I just hear now Elvis is dead, everyone's bread, and I'm like, that's not right. That's not the lyric. Everyone's not bread. Oh, my heart is a ghost town. Cal, this is where you got to commit to a schedule. Clearly, you're getting too popular. You're getting too good. You're too good. This is what happened to me with Heaven's Equal. All of a sudden, people are like, "Update when?" And I'm like, "Oh God, I wanted this, but also I'm fucking no. I'm too tired for this shit." Actually, that reminds me, I gotta check the comment sections on stuff. Okay, slowly but surely. Because I really should do reflected light as well, because that'll make this metal look way better. Okay, can I do finish the shading and do reflected light in 20 minutes? I think the answer is yes. I think it's yes. Okay, almost there. Sorry if the fan in the background is loud. If I do not run it, I run the risk of actively melting, like, sad little man. Okay. Let's go this way. Color. Oh, that's crazy. This box fan's loud as shit, so that just means my mic settings must be good. I nailed it. I'm so smart. Ah, Chaotica, or is this Chaotica Erotica? It is. Oh, Bentley. We just need a little bit of reflection. Wait, why did this happen to me? God, I don't know why I'm like this. This was on the wrong layer. I am a dummy. That's okay, I just clicked on the wrong thing. Mostly, I just need to make sure that this reflected light is present on the on the metal, really, and it can be super light. I'm not worried about it. An uncouth barbarian. Oh my god. Yeah. Just y'all are so silly. Okay. We're making it happen. Okay, lots of random ass stuff here. I would really love to be able to finish the metal. Thankfully, this is like accent metal color. It is not uncommon for Bob to use random, like multiple metal colors. He mixes metals a lot. I do not do that. I'm getting it. Remember when I thought I was gonna finish this today? I'm so silly. Yeah, this zoomer is just really complicated. Like Errol's obviously done. So I finished him. He's good. We're done with that. But I like never listened to half of this music. I'm being exposed to new shit. The gays make the dirtiest shit. That's all that I learned. That's all that I'm learning. They were like, guys, how can we crust it to level 4,000? What if this was the crustiest shit? Everyone was like, yeah, that's that, yes. Yeah, I find that that helps me anyway. That way I can kind of stay focused, you know? It's like, I don't feel like I'm bouncing between project to project, you know? I love how this song sounds super dirty and literally the lyrics are like, bro, I just wanted a committed relationship. I'm dying, actually. This is so funny. I don't know who this is. Is this Kim Petras? Oh, Cobra. I don't know them. Michael, I don't know you. Sometimes that's the way that it goes. I hope you can get some good sleepies, though. Oh, God. Your eyeballs are just fucking closing. Or you could maybe be the opposite and you're possessed and then you open your eyes on your own. We love it. We love it when they do that. Was that Instagram? No. Demonic. Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg is demonic. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Just let me back into my account, Mark. Can't believe I had to pay you money in order to get support. They make you pay money to access a human. And that is maybe the most batshit thing I've ever seen in my life. Good business model, Mark. That was an email. Almost there. This will be the last step that I hit before I have to go and swap gears here, y'all. So I'm gonna try and finish this really quick. Turn the trunk of Highway 10. A knife under the hood. If you find it, send it straight to Hollywood. This is my favorite Gaga album, honestly, besides maybe Mayhem. This one is iconic. Love how fucking weird it is. She was doing some weird shit here. Yeah, God, how many like hours away are we now from each other, Cal? Is it like 4? Is it like 6 p.m. where you're at right now, or is it like 5? You're so far away. Somehow I got closer to you and then also farther away from you, and I don't know how that happened. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, if I go to sleep at like 4 p.m. for a nap, I'm waking up at 2 in the morning and I won't know what like fucking year it is. lives behind the aura, behind the aura. Do you wanna touch me, cosmic lover? Do you wanna be good to me together? Do you wanna see the girl who lives behind the aura? Behind the aura, behind the aura. Okay, not bad. Okay, so that's actually pretty good. Good progress, good progress. Could have been worse. All right, give me just a second. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. So I'm going to go ahead and go for today. I'll be back on Monday with commission work to try and finish up everything that I need to for Drea's commissions because I realize I am massively overdue for those things. So I'm going to work on that later, but it's great to see everybody again. Thank you so much for being so amazing. I will see you all very, very soon, and I hope you have a good weekend. So talk to you later. Bye-bye, everyone.